Okay, it looks like, yes, we are live. All right. If you're watching already, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. It's very nice to see you. There was a famous TV presenter. Let me load up my different things here to get everything ready. Let me see who's in. And then I'll tell you about that famous TV presenter. So there was a famous TV presenter in the UK called Bruce Forsyth, and he presented all kinds of different game shows and things like that. Actually, let's go back to the first page. Let's get things sorted properly. And anyway, this guy Bruce Forsyth, he had a catchphrase, and his catchphrase was "Nice to see you nice," which everyone thought was kind of stupid. But also everyone liked it. It's one of those things where we thought it was stupid, but we liked it. Anyway, good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are. Welcome to our live class. This is our first official live class here on YouTube. So feel very special. You're witnessing history. I'm going to send a message into the chat for everyone. Mai Atala is here. I hope I'm saying that right. Mai. I'm quite confident about Mai. The Atala, I'm not so confident about. Adele, good evening to you. Well, is it good evening or is it something else? You can tell me. Where are you? Where are you guys in the world? Divya is here. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name correctly. If I get it wrong, please don't be offended. I'm just doing my best. I'm just an innocent teacher. Please don't judge me. Adele says, it's my pleasure to attend your live session. It's my pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining me. And I'm glad that I can see you. Here's Amrit. Amrit is here from Malaysia. Wow. Welcome, Amrit. Amrit, what time is it? What time is it in Malaysia? It must be pretty late, right? Let me guess. So Malaysia is south of China. In China, it is 11 p.m. I'm going to guess it's also 11 p.m. in Malaysia. Amrit, is that right? You can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Oh, very good. Mai says I got it right. Whew, that's a relief. Yeah. I always find that more than anything else, names are something that's hard for pronouncing because people don't really get offended. They don't get angry if you pronounce the name of a phone or some kind of something. But if you pronounce their name wrong, then people are like, they get very annoyed about it. So I'm glad I got it right. Yes, I got it right. 11:03 p.m. in Malaysia. Thank you, Amrit. Dennis is here. Dennis or Denise? Or what? You can tell me. Number 1, Dennis. Number 2, Denise. Number 3, something else. Some other pronunciation. Denise is in Istanbul. Ah, very nice. I'd love to visit Istanbul. I've never been to Turkey. My wife, Elizabeth, has been to Turkey, and she says it's really nice. And she went to Istanbul, and then she also went to the place where it's they say is where Troy, the ancient city of Troy, I can't remember what it's called now, but it's where the ancient city of Troy used to be. And she says it's really cool. Let's see who else is here. Zinat is here. Zinat Khan says, hello, sir. Thank you for having this session. It's an honor to be in your live club. Well, it's my pleasure. And it's 8:33 in Bengaluru. Bengaluru. Is that Bengaluru? No, that can't be right. Anyway, sorry, again, very bad pronunciation. So 8:33. So you have one of those time zones that's half an hour different to other, lots of other places. That must be very confusing. I suppose after a while you get used to it, but yeah, that's pretty tough. And Divya is from India. Welcome. Deniz. Ah, Denise. Okay, very good. And Adele says, have you ever been to Egypt? No, I've also not been to Egypt. I'll tell you some of the places that I've been, so you think I'm not such a ignorant person. I lived in China for many years. I lived in China for 9 years. And then I lived in Colombia. And so welcome to Janet Patricia Montaña, who is also from Colombia. And I know that in Colombia right now it must be, well, it's morning. I think it's 9 a.m. And you can confirm that for us, Janet. Is it 9 a.m. in Colombia? And where in Colombia are you from? Yes, so I lived in Colombia as well, and I visited Malaysia, I visited Indonesia, I visited lots of places. Sadly, I've never been to anywhere in Africa yet, so no, I've not been to Egypt. I've also not been to, let me check, nowhere in the Middle East, so I've not been to Syria or to Lebanon or to Turkey or anywhere like that. So those are my next set of places to go. I'm very excited. 10:06 in Colombia. Oh, it's only 5 hours. Bogotá. Bienvenida. Welcome to our live stream. Gracias por venir. So, guys, let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. Enough of me talking and telling you silly things. So, we're going to do a live class today, which is about common grammar mistakes. Let me tell you what our plan is going to be. So, today's plan. First, say hello. Hello. Done. Number 1, finished. And then we're going to look at the 5 common mistakes. And I'm going to give you guys some chance to speak and to have a try. I'm going to give you a quiz, basically. And we'll see if you can get the answers right or not. We'll see how good your grammar is. Then at the end, we're going to have a question and answer. So if you have some questions about English, about IELTS, about some other exam, about grammar, about whatever you want to ask about, then we'll have some time at the end and you can ask me your questions and I'll try to answer. I can't promise that I will know the answer, but if I don't know the answer, I'll try and imagine and make up an answer. So that will be the third thing. And then the exciting thing for today is that we're also going to have a special prize, a prize giveaway. We're actually going to give away a free course, but you have to stay until the end of today's live class, which is probably about another half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And only then will I let you know what the prize is and how you can get it. But it's definitely worth staying for. It's a pretty good prize, okay? So that's coming a little bit later. And just to let you guys know that all of the grammar mistakes that we're going to look at today are in our new course, and that course is called Master English Grammar. And it's available right now on Udemy, so you can follow the link. There should be a link under this video. If you can't see that link, then I did something wrong. But you should be able to see this link. And also, if you are interested in taking any of our other courses, we have lots of courses on Udemy. We have IELTS, we have some vocabulary course, we have lots of different things. And if you want to get a big discount, then you can go to those courses and you can use this code. So the code is November 2022. All right, very easy to remember. It's just this month and this year. And if you're watching this live stream in the future, like in December, then hello to the future. I hope the future is good. And you'll just use the name of the month. So if you're in December, you're going to use December 2022. If it's January 2023, you'll just write January 2023, and then you'll be able to unlock that discount. Okay? So there you go. There's a little bit of advertising for you guys. I've done my advertising part now, and now we can talk about the the actual interesting stuff. So, let's take a look at the first mistake. So what we're going to do for all 5 mistakes is we're going to look at a sentence that has a mistake, and I'm going to ask you to find that mistake. Okay? So the question is find the mistake. Here's the sentence. And I think this first one is a little easy. And as we go, they're going to get more and more difficult. Number 5 is pretty difficult. Number 4 is also pretty difficult. Number 1, not too difficult, I don't think. So I want you to find the mistake. So it's, I need to leave because my sister's birthday is tomorrow and I must to buy her a present. What's the problem? So here's my question. What is the problem? And if you can, what is the correct version? All right, so I'll give you a clue. The problem is one of the words in this sentence. One of the words has the problem. So which word has the problem? What do you guys think? Okay, you can have a little think about that while I catch up with all of your messages. And let me see. Yes, 10:06 in Colombia. Pat says you should visit India as well. I want to. Yeah, I also have never visited India. India is like one of those places where I'm very excited to go, but I think that India is so big that, you know, it's not like going to, I don't know, Belgium or somewhere like that, where you can go and you can see most things in a few days because it's pretty small. You know, India is huge and there's so many different parts, and I want to spend a long time in India, not just 1 week. You know, I want to maybe live in India for 6 months or something like that. But the problem with that is that it means that I have to wait and I have to find 6 months. So I haven't found my 6 months yet for India, but we'll see. Gabriella is here. Hello, Gabriella. Welcome. 12 p.m. in Brazil. Thank you for joining us from Brazil. Very cool. Zinat says, my overall score in IELTS is 7.5. Oh, very good. That is an excellent overall score. Took it on the 22nd of, less than 1 month ago, the 22nd of October, and grateful for your course in Udemy. Well, you're welcome, and congratulations. That's a very good score, 7.5. Romika says, I don't see it. Oh no, the link. I'll have to share it later. So sorry. I knew something would go wrong. Damn. Okay, so we've got some answers. So Pat says, problem is must to buy. And Jeanette says, I must buy without to. And Romika says, it will be tomorrow. So my sister's birthday will be tomorrow. Sister's birthday will be. That's also correct, but the is also correct. You know, quite often when we're talking about something fixed in the future, we can use the present tense. So, you know, what is your plan for tomorrow? Tomorrow I have 2 meetings, something like that. We don't have to say tomorrow I will have. That's also correct, but we can just directly say tomorrow I have 2 meetings. So it's the future, but we use the present. Burhan is here. Hello. Good evening. He says, I must buy. I must buy her, says Khadija. Yeah, must. So very good, everyone. Exactly. We've got lots of people answering. Eddie's here. Eddie. Very good to see you. You're I think one of my first ever students in Udemy. I remember you from you. I remember you from a long time ago. So it's nice to see you here. Paula is here. De Chile. Hi, I'm new here. I'm from Chile, but I live in Bristol. Bienvenida. Thank you for joining me. How long have you lived in Bristol? And is the weather in Bristol as bad as it is in Manchester today? Let me tell you, in Manchester today, it is terrible weather. It's rained the whole day. It's very cold. It's like, I think, the worst day of weather for a long time. Like for many months, we haven't had such bad weather. So how is it in Bristol, Paula? So let us take a little look at this answer. So you guys got it. Yeah. So it's I must buy. I must buy her a present. Now, this is, as I told you guys, it's kind of an easy one, but it's a very common mistake. Many people get this wrong. So be careful. Be careful of it. So the rule is must and the verb. We don't have to. You guys all got that. So that was very good. An example, something my parents would always tell me when I was growing up. You must finish your dinner before you eat dessert. I always wanted to eat dessert first. Okay? And I've got a question for you guys, a chance for you to, use that word must and make a sentence if you want. What things must you do in your life? What are some compulsory things that you have to do in your life? Okay? So while you guys are thinking about that and writing your answer, I'm going to go to mistake 2. Let's see if you can get mistake 2. So mistake 2 looks like this. I left the party early because my parents said I must get home before midnight. So again, what's the problem and what's the correct version? Now, I think for this question, judging by everyone's answers for the first question, your grammar is already pretty good. But I'm interested to see, number one, if you can find the problem. I think you'll find the problem pretty easily. But can you say what the correct version is? What is the solution? How can we change this sentence to make it right? That one might be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys answer that one. Who can give me the correct answer? Now, how do I read your name? Sadan. Oh no, that's really hard. Sadanand? Sadanhand? I'm sorry, I got no. Yeah, that's probably terribly wrong, so I apologize. Says, we must drink at least 2 liters of water. Yes, 2 liters of water per day. Some people say more. Some people say like 4 liters of water. And do you drink your 2 liters of water? I know I do. I drink a lot of water. Part has got the problem again very quick. Musted. Adele says, I must go. Job. All right. That's true. I must go. I must go job would say I must work or I must go to my job. Jeanette says, I should get home before midnight. My parents said I should get home before midnight. Well, should, I would say, Jeanette, is a little different to must or musted. Because should is not as strong. You know, we would say like, my parents said I should get home. There's a little bit of freedom there. You know, like they're saying it's a better idea if you get home, but maybe there won't be a punishment if you're late. Whereas must or musted gives the feeling of like there's no choice. And if you're late, serious things will happen. Punishments will happen. Now, Fad has an answer, which is I have to get. I have to get. Now, that's interesting. Yeah, I think that is one of the correct answers that I would choose. Adele says, I must wake up early at 5 a.m. Ooh, that's tough. 5 a.m. is pretty early. I always think that if you wake up any time after 6 a.m., that's kind of like you can complain a little bit, but it's not totally crazy. But, earlier than 6 to me feels very, very early. I think from about 6:15 onwards, it feels okay. But yeah, 5 a.m. is very early. Part says, I must get home before midnight. Okay. Khadija says, I must do a PhD. Oh, you must do it. You have no choice. Now, Burhan has an interesting one. I must have gotten home. I must have gotten home. Let me come back to that one. And Zinat says, I must get back home before midnight. Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you for your answers. Let's take a look. So, I would say that there are a few correct ones. So you guys found the problem. The problem is the word mustard. So mustard is not a word. So you guys all got that correct. But then, we're using must in the past tense. But what is the past of must? Is it most or mast? Or I have musten? No, it's none of those things because there is no past tense of must. So the question is, what do we do? And the answer is, usually we'll put had to. Now, that means that the most correct way to say this would be, I left the party early, and notice it's left, past tense, because my parents said, past tense, I had to get home before midnight. Now, one person said, I have to get home. And because it's after said, we could maybe say that that's like a reported speech. That means we're saying what our parents said. And so maybe we wouldn't use the past tense. But think about this. What did your parents actually say? They didn't say to you, I have to get home before midnight. Because it wouldn't make sense, right? They said to you, they were speaking, they said, you have to get home before midnight. So that's more like when we would use have in the present tense. I left the party early because my parents said, you have to get home before midnight. Then have is correct. But in the context of this whole sentence, it's better to keep using the past tense. So had. I had to get home before midnight. Okay? So there we go. There's, I think nobody quite got the answer. And then one other person said, I think Burhan said, I must have gotten home. Now that's not quite right. That's a whole different situation. And actually in our new grammar course, Master English Grammar, which you can find right now on Udemy, we talk about that tense, like I must have done something. I must have gotten home. So that's more talking about something that you don't know it's happened, but you're making a prediction that it already happened, which is kind of complicated. And that new course is full of those like difficult situations where, you're in the present and you're talking about the past, but about a time in the past where you were thinking about the future and things like that. Very complicated grammar. So if you're interested in that course, then you can check it out on Udemy. It's called Master English Grammar. And we may have some kind of special prize at the end of today's live class related to that course as well. So stick around for that. We're going to go on to mistake number 3. So mistake number 3 is this. When I was young, I can't sing very well, but now I'm having lessons, so I hope I can sing very well in the future. So, problem and correct version, please. Try and find me the problem and find me the solution. When I was young, I can't sing very well, but now I'm having lessons, so I hope I can sing very well in the future. So, let's catch up with some messages. Momolia's here. Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining me, Tracy. Adele says might. I'm not sure what you're talking about with might, I'm afraid. Gary Zurita is here. Welcome, Gary. Thank you for joining us. And Mai says, unfortunately, I must prepare for my PhD interview. Yes, that's true. Good use of unfortunately as well. It's like something that you have to do, but you don't want to do it. Unfortunately, I have to prepare for my PhD interview. Is that a real one? Is that a real thing or just a sentence? Because if it's real, then you can tell us what kind of things you have to prepare. And Mai also asks, can we use must have? No, we shouldn't use must have for that one before. So must have is like when we don't know if something's happened and we're making a guess about the past. So it's like if we are at the party and our friend left 1 hour ago, then we can say, oh, it's already been 1 hour. She must have arrived home by now. So we don't know that she's arrived, but we're thinking, she lives very close and already she's had 1 hour. So my good guess, my educated guess is she must have arrived home by now. So that's when we use must have. Adele says, couldn't. That's, yeah, there you go. And Jeanette also has picked that one out. Very good. And Sadanand as well. I couldn't sing well. Now, Burhan says, having with non-ing. No. So that one definitely should have an ing. So good guess. But actually that one is now I am having. So it's something that is happening now. It started in the past, but it's still continuing. Let's say I've been having lessons for 2 months and I go once every week. So, and I plan to continue in the future. We say I'm having lessons at the moment. So yeah, the having is not the problem. Part says the problem is I can't sing very well. And Fad says we can say I couldn't instead. Yeah, very good. And Mai says couldn't. Zinat says when I were young, I couldn't sing very well. The couldn't is correct, Zinat, but the were. Well, that's funny because in certain parts of England, particularly in Yorkshire, which is where you have like cities like Leeds, Sheffield, York, they do talk like that, but it's not a formal, correct way to talk. So that you know, they would say when I were young. So they don't say when I was young. They say when I were young. But that's just their accent, their dialect. So I don't want you to learn that, okay? I don't want you to say, when I were young, and there's a famous joke from, if you know Monty Python, who was a famous comedy group in England many years ago. They had a sketch, like a thing that they used to do, where it was a bunch of old men sitting around and they were talking about how when they were young, their life was very hard. And each person says, when I were young, and then says something like, we didn't have clothes to wear. It was so cold, my arm fell off. And things like that. And each person says another one, and it gets more and more and more and more. And so that their lives were just terrible, even though really they weren't too bad. And they say when I were young. But no, normally it would be when I was young. Mai says it's a real thing. There you go. Oh, look who's here. Well. It's not Monthly Python. It's Monty Python. Let me write it for you guys. Welcome to Luke. Luke, you've joined me. You joined me now at the turn of the tide. That's a Lord of the Rings quote. Luke, if you guys don't know, is another excellent teacher. He is also available on Udemy. And you can also follow his channel, Cloud English, which is a good channel. Welcome, Luke. Thank you for joining us. Denise said, I couldn't find your new course on Udemy. Is it just me? It's very new. So if you go in and you can search for last minute English, or you search for Francis, or you even search for if you search for IELTS, then you'll be able to find our course, and you'll be able to go and find other courses by this teacher. And in a little bit, I'll share the link. All right, so I'll share that a little bit later. Cloud English says, I got a notification. I see, I click, I watch. All right, very good. Well, welcome. So, you guys have all got, I think, one of the two problems. So, the second one is a lot less obvious, but it's something that probably we wouldn't say is totally a mistake, but it's something that definitely if you say it, there is a better way to say it. And I'm talking in a very general way. Let me explain what I mean. So, have a look. When I was young, I couldn't sing very well. So you guys got it right. The past tense, can, can't, could, couldn't. I couldn't sing very well. Now I'm having lessons, so I hope I will be able to sing very well in the future. So there we go. Instead of, I hope I can sing very well in the future. That's not quite right. If you say it, people can definitely understand. But it's not quite right. It's definitely better to say, I'll be able to sing very well in the future. Okay? So that's how we can talk about can in the past and in the future. Another example, I couldn't walk until I was 4. It's not true. And then the other one about the future, you will be able to find a great job easily when you graduate, considering how good your English grammar is. All right, so you will be able to. Instead of saying you can find a job easily, that wouldn't be quite right. It's definitely better to say you will be able to find a great job easily. Okay? So there we go. So I have a question for you guys, because we know the can and the couldn't and can't and couldn't in the past. That one's easy. I want to ask you guys a question about the future, a little bit more difficult. So what would you like to be able to do in the future? For example, you could say, I hope to be able to sing, or I want to be able to make a lot of money in the future. Okay? Or I hope I can. No. I hope to be able to. Or I will be able to. There's lots of ways to say it. So I want you guys to have a try at that one while I ask you mistake number 4. So here we go. I have many hobbies. I like to play video games, eat pizza, and talking with my friends. Once again, guys, I want you to find me the problem and tell me the correct version. So, what's it going to be? Lyubov, is that right? Says, I hope I'll be able to sing very well in the future. Yes, very good, very good. Dennis says, I've just clicked and checked the other courses, so I believe it's worth checking again if there's any issues. I don't know what's happening there, so thank you for that. That's, I'm surprised that there's a problem with that. I think it was okay. But yes, thank you for letting me know, and I'll check that again later. Luba. Thank you, Cloud English. If you want names that you're not sure how to pronounced for you, check out Cloud English. So, Ahmad says a talk with. Adele says talk to friends would be the problem. Okay, interesting. Okay. Aha! Burhan. Burhan has, I think, come up with the goods here. There's a great phrase. To come up with the goods. That means like to do something good, or to provide something good, or provide the solution to a problem. Just like here. Come up with the goods. Mehak says talk to friends, not with. Yeah, we've got a lot of people talking about that one, but there's a bigger problem that you guys are missing. Yeah, so it's the ing. Narine says, I hope I'll be able to ride. Oh, you're missing a to. I hope I will be able to ride a bike soon. To ride. So, will be able to. Important extra word. You just started learning. Cool. Good luck. Yeah. So talk with my friends. And Fad says, game eat pizza, and talk with friends. And Sadan says, Last Minute English is an excellent course for IELTS. I took it last month. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. And Mahindra says, I'm watching from Bangladesh. Welcome, welcome. I have a friend from Bangladesh. These days she lives in New York. And she married someone from Scotland. So she's a very international person. But she's originally from Bangladesh. And Amrit says, I'll be able to do programming in 2 months' time. Ooh, very good. Is that true? Is that a real one? And if so, which programming language are you learning? I remember a few years ago, I studied a little bit of Python. And so I know a little tiny bit about Python. But that's the only one except for HTML and CSS. I studied a little bit of them as well. But all of the other ones are a total mystery to me. And Baida says, playing video games, eating pizza, and talking with my friends. Yeah, very good, very good. Mai says, I strive to make a huge contribution when it comes to novel therapeutic manufacturing. All right, very good. Cloud English says, I can program in Monty Python. All right, very good. It's a real dad joke, that. So, the most important thing here is talk. So you can see in the first one, it's talking. So those don't match. So we've got I like to, and then we have to have the 3 verbs all the same. Play video games, eat pizza, and talk with my friends. Now, you guys are right that talk to would probably be a little bit more natural. But talk with is also not totally wrong. The most important incorrect part here is talking. So talking is definitely wrong. Okay, and we call this one parallel structure. And I have another question for you guys. So, I gave my friend a hug, told my mum the big news, and eating a piece of cake to celebrate. And what is the correct version here? What should we say? It's not eating. So look at the whole sentence. I gave my friend a hug, told my mum the big news, and eating a piece of cake to celebrate. So how should we change eating? What's the correct version of that? You guys can let me know. Sadan says, your accent and style of speaking are similar to Mike Atherton. You mean the former England cricket captain, Mike Atherton? Because he's one of my heroes. He's very cool. He's an excellent writer. He writes a column, a cricket column for the Times newspaper, the Times of London. And actually, yeah, we're from the same place. He also comes from Manchester. 8, yeah, thank you, Fad. Yeah, sorry, you got it right. Elbow cough, elbow cough. Yeah, very good. Yes, the England captain. And Zina says, I hope I will be able to pursue an international course next year. Perfect grammar. Well, your grammar is ready to do it, Zina. So I hope that all would be correct. I hope that all goes well. Bada says, why we cannot say playing, eating, and talking? Playing. So you could also say, yes, you could say for the first sentence, I like playing video games, eating pizza, and talking with my friends. You're absolutely right. That would also be correct. The important point is that we can't mix them. We can't say two in one style, like two with ing, and one with no ing. They all have to match. And that type of grammar is called parallel structure or parallelism. Part says we ate, and Zinat says ate. Yes, very good. So it was a sort of a trick question because I thought you guys might just say eat. But notice it's all in the past tense, gave, told, and so the last one should be the past tense as well. Ate. So there we go. And my question for you guys, I want you to try to make me a sentence about your own hobbies, making a list of 3 and include a verb for each one, 3 verbs in total, and make sure that they match. So you could, for example, say, I like watching live streams, learning English grammar, and taking courses from Last Minute English. Or if you want to do one that you actually like doing, that's also okay. Okay, so try and make me a sentence now as we go on to our last question. So here's the last one. If I can fly, I will go to Barcelona and watch a football match. All right, so there is our problem, and I want to know what the problem is and what the correct version is. If I can fly, I will go to Barcelona and watch a football match. So, what should it be? And let me see. Adele says, you mean we have the same tense for all verbs in a sentence? Yes, exactly right. As long as they are all in different clauses. So, for example, you shouldn't say, like, if you say, I went to watch the football game, or I went to watch a movie. Went is past tense, and to watch will always stay like that because it's connected to went. Went to watch. So that doesn't change. But if it's like you did one thing and then you did another thing, and there's a word like and in the middle, or there's a comma in the middle, then they both should be the same tense. For example, I went to the cinema, I watched a movie, and I ate some popcorn. So went, watched, and ate, all 3 different parts or 3 different clauses in the sentence, so they should all be in the past tense. Okay? Hopefully that's clear. Adele says, I like cooking, swimming, and playing tennis. Perfect. Very good. Jeanette says, I like singing, programming, and learning new languages. Ah, very good. Very good. That's excellent. I like watching cricket, playing games, and eating healthy food. Oh, you're very similar to me. I like all of those things. I love cricket, actually. In England, of course, cricket is pretty popular. It's not as popular as football. But also, like, 8 months of the year, it's too cold to play. But for 4 months of the year, it's still a little bit cold sometimes, but not too cold. So we like to play in the summer. And I played all summer. Every Sunday I went to play this summer. And we've got some answers. So we've got could. Denise says could and would. Romika says, if I could fly. Jeanette says, if I could fly, I would go to Barcelona. Aha. Fad can't see any problems. Well, Fad, I would suggest that you should check out our Master English Grammar course, because this is something that we cover a lot of. This is a very common mistake, and it's very high-level grammar. So it's really important to know this. This is something called conditionals. This is the 3rd conditional. So you can check out our course. Mai says, I'm into hiking, binge watching Netflix, and watching Last Minute English for sure. Very good. Thank you, Mai. I think I prefer binge watching Netflix to watching Last Minute English, but that's fine. I don't like to watch myself. Amrit says, I love attending sewing classes. Do meditation and going for brisk. Now, first of all, we would say going for brisk walks. Because walking is a different thing, okay? So the correct grammar is going for brisk walks. But you also have a little problem in there. So look, you've got sewing, going, but you've got do. So it should be doing meditation. You can also say practicing meditation, but most people say doing meditation. So the sewing, doing, and going should all match each other. I knew Luke would come out with one for this. I like performing my own dentistry, drinking coffee strong enough to stun a beluga whale, and shopping for rare Pringles flavours. And what Pringles flavours have you found, Luke? Tell us about that. Romika says, if I could fly, I would go to Barcelona to watch a football match. Yes, very good. If I could fly, I would go. Very good. Eddie asks Cloud English, how about eating gobbling turkeys? Delicious. Dennis says, the course just popped up on Udemy now. Oh, very good, very good, very good. Okay. Mehak says, I like writing poems. Do acrylic painting. Again, it's doing acrylic painting and playing with my dog. Very good. Okay, and Zenat says, I love traveling, watching meaningful cinema, and attending your English classes. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, watching meaningful cinema. That's great. I totally support that. That's why I have stopped watching Marvel movies, because they're quite good movies, but right now there's so many that they just feel meaningless to me. So I like to wait for movies like movies that have like more that are more special, let's say. Fad says, I like reading books, playing soccer, and watching Liverpool. Very good. A very good team, although not a great season this season. Luba says, I like taking Luke's courses. Luke's and Francis's courses, please. Learning Python and listening to audiobooks. Okay, let's... Luke says, antique furniture. That's his latest Pringle flavour. An acquired taste. It's quite woody. They've really polished that flavour. Anyway, so you guys got it. Yeah, you guys got it exactly right. If I could fly, I would go to Barcelona and watch a football match. So the rule of this is that this is the third conditional, and it's talking about something that either can't be true or probably it won't be true. It's very unlikely. All right, so if I could fly, I would go to Barcelona. So it's if and the past simple tense. The past of can is could. And then we do a comma. And then we do the subject, which is I. We do would. And then we do the verb in the normal way. I would go. I would buy. I would fly. I would eat. Things like that. Okay? Another example. If I won the lottery, I would buy a huge house and fill it full of Pringle antique furniture. So, question for you guys. What would you do if you won the lottery? So, you've got two choices here. You can just write the second part, like I would, and then the verb. Or, if you want to challenge yourself, you can write the whole sentence. So, if I won the lottery, I would, blah, blah, blah. And you can tell me what you would do. I'm looking forward to hearing Luke's answer for this as well. What would you do, Luke, if you won the lottery? So I'll leave you guys to think about that for a second while I check the rest of your messages. Badar says, what's the difference between the past perfect and the past perfect continuous? Well, that's one of the many things that we talk about in our new course, which is called Master English Grammar. And I think, to be honest, it's so complicated that it needs a whole live class to go into. The difference in how we form it is just the past perfect is I had done, and then the past perfect continuous is I had been doing. But the way that they're used, I'd have to like write down some examples. It's pretty complicated. Or you can hold on for a minute, Badar, and you'll get the chance to learn that in the course. Mehak says, what would be your recommended series to watch to improve English? Well, it kind of depends because, you know, if you're learning English for business reasons, like to get a better job, then it would be good to watch some business shows related to, you know, for example, if you want to be a lawyer, you could watch a show like Suits, which is all about lawyers. If you want to be a doctor, you could watch Grey's Anatomy. You could watch House. You know, so it sort of depends on your goal. If you want to learn daily English, I always think there's two things. Friends is pretty good. But Friends, of course, is scripted. So it's not, they don't use like crazily different language to normal life, but it's not exactly how normal people speak. So the other thing to do is to watch reality TV. So shows like, right now there's a very famous show, a very popular show in England called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And celebrities go together to a jungle in Australia and they have to like eat stuff that eat stuff they don't want to eat and do stuff they don't want to do. And the last one there is the winner, the last one to survive. So stuff like that is pretty good for getting natural English, like sort of daily English, because people aren't using a script. They're just talking as they would normally talk. And then he says, Friends. Yeah, Friends could be a good one. And Adele says, I would give some amount to charity and buy a bigger house and a new car. Very good. Yeah, perfect grammar. Pat says, if I won the lottery, I would buy my own IPL team. Nice. Would you set up your own team or would you buy an existing team? I can't remember how it works in the IPL. Is it, because I know sometimes new teams come in, right? But anyway, you can let me know. Buy an existing team or create your own team. Luke says, if I won the lottery, I would reinvest everything back into lottery tickets. A high quality investment. Sure to get a good return on that. Mai says, I would buy myself a property abroad. Ooh, very nice. But where? Where would you buy? Which country? I think I would buy in Italy. Possibly in the south of Italy. No, maybe not. Anyway, somewhere in Italy and in a small village. And I would pay like an old Italian grandma to cook me food because that is my dream. I'd love to suddenly be Italian. I think that would be really cool. Romika says, I would travel all over the world. Very good. And Sadanad says, if I won the lottery, I would watch a match at Lord's. Yes, very good. The home of cricket. Eddie says, if I won the lottery, I would move to the South Pacific and I wouldn't work. Nice. Very good. That sounds really good. Narin says, is it the third or the second conditional? Oh, you might be right. I might have written third when I meant second. Yes. I would have if I... Yes, no, you're right. It is the second conditional. Whoops. Sorry, everyone. This is the second conditional. Sometimes my numbers are not good. I don't do the math well. So yeah, that should be the second. Thank you, Nadine. Cloud English says Seinfeld is better than Friends. And Denise says Planet Earth is better than Seinfeld. Well, they're very different, aren't they? But yeah, I agree. Eddie says, I'll need your help later, Francis. When I read newspapers like the New York Times or The Economist, I can find over 10 unknown words per article. What tips could I use to grasp so many words quickly? Well, the first thing to do is to decide if the new words are worth learning. Because not every new word is worth learning. But if you go through and you think, am I ever going to use this myself? And if you are going to use it, then take it and learn it. If you're not going to use it, get rid of it. And probably that will cut down about half of those words. But then how can you grasp so many words quickly? Well, I always think that reading the words in sentences is the best way. So, if the word that you want is prestigious, for example, you can go to like Google, or you can go to, I like a website called SentenceDict, D-I-C-T, SentenceDict.com. And on that website, you can type in the word, like you just put prestigious and search, and it brings all very like natural sentences using prestigious. And then you can read those sentences, and that will, number one, kind of tell you what the word means. And number two, give you a feeling for when the word is used, what situation it's used in. And also number three, let you know kind of what the grammar is around that word. Like, do we usually use that word in a collocation with another word? Or do we put something like a with or a to or an on, things like that? So that is my best suggestion when you've decided that you really want to learn that word. But that's a great question. Thank you for that. Parth says, I have to buy an existing team. Okay, there you go. So who would you buy? Zinette says, if I won the lottery, I would travel the world and learn about different cultures and their literature. Ooh, cool. Yeah, excellent. And Fad says, I would like to ask about the questions of the monthly conversation section. I live in Saudi Arabia now. Is it possible for you to come to me in the test or those questions, especially in your country? The monthly conversation section. What do you mean? Do you mean in the IELTS course, or are you talking about something else? Luke says 2 and 3 are basically the same number. Well, they're close, aren't they? Sometimes, you just say whatever number you want. Amrit says, if I won the lottery, I would get a new house and car and save the rest of the money. Mama says, please say hi to Billy. Oh, wow, really? Hello, Billy. Good evening. Good evening to Billy. Are we live on Billy now? Oh, my God. Wow. Well, now we're really all over the world. So, hello, everyone. So, anyway, let me... that's Rajasthan Royals, is it? I would buy Rajasthan Royals and make Jos Buttler the captain of the team. Yeah. He's very good. We're very pleased with Jos Buttler at the moment. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about cricket. And Jos Buttler now is the captain of the England 2020 team. And they just won the T20 World Cup. But I was too busy to watch the game. So I really missed out. What's your occupation? From Billy. My occupation, well, I am a teacher. And that's why I'm teaching some grammar right now. So, I would say that we're almost done with today's live class, but we do have something very special coming up shortly. So, Tracy, if you're watching, this might be a moment to pause, because this is probably something that is mostly for the rest of the world internet. It might not be something that we should broadcast everywhere. So we'll get onto that in just a minute. But I want to just remind you guys that we do have lots and lots of courses available. If you do want to improve your English, we have courses about advanced vocabulary. That is our Advanced English Vocabulary course. That's got 50 different topics, 18 hours in total. So it's very, very good. And we also have our new course, Master English Grammar. And that has all of these things like the conditionals and lots of other stuff. And I always say the right number in that course. I don't make mistakes with my number. And we also have IELTS courses. If you want to get a high score in your IELTS test, we have our IELTS Complete Guide, which is, I think it's 46 hours now. And it covers all areas of IELTS. It's massive. It's huge. It covers listening, and it covers reading, writing, speaking, and it even has new answers as well. So yeah, you can find all of those ones on Udemy. And if you go to Udemy and you want to get a discount on them, then you can use the code of the month and the year. All right, so the month, of course, is November. You have to spell it right. If you spell it wrong, no discount. November, the full word, 2022. And if you just write like that, then you'll get a discount on those courses. And also, if you're watching this later, like you're watching it in December, or you're watching it next year, then hello to the future. For example, if you're watching in January 2023, then your discount code would be January 2023. It's very simple. Parth says, do you teach IELTS on live sessions? Well, that's a great question. Sometimes we do. We're thinking about doing that more. So watch out for more information about that. And we also have a question, is it true that IELTS gives low scores for writing? I think, to be honest, IELTS would say that they give fair scores for writing. I've not noticed that the IELTS scores for writing are lower than anything else. You know, like lower than, for example, a TOEFL score. But you do have to follow some strict rules for IELTS writing. So it's something that's, you know, you really have to pay attention to. Let me, guys, send you some links here because I'm finding out, this is my first time doing a YouTube live stream. So I'm kind of figuring it out as we go. So I'm going to send you guys the link for a few of these different courses that I'm telling you about. And sorry that this is, next time we do a live class, we'll have all of this sorted and ready. But this time, we're just trying to figure it out. So if you want to get better grammar, you can follow that link. If you want to get a really good score in IELTS, then let me share the course for that. And the good thing about the IELTS course is that we do focus a lot on the writing. So to answer your question about the writing, you can just take our course and you'll be able to, I think get a lot. You'll get a lot from it. Let me share the IELTS one, and you guys can get a discount with that. And I'll share the vocabulary one as well so that you guys can see it. And I also want to say thank you very much to everyone who has come today. It's been very fun to do my first ever YouTube live stream. So thank you very much for everyone who's come and who's taken part, answered questions, asked questions. We're also going to have, from now, a question and answer session. So let me share this one. This is the vocabulary one. You guys can get that as well. So if you guys do have any questions about anything and you want me to answer them, then now is your chance. But I promised something at the start of today's class, and now I'm going to deliver on that promise. So I promised you that we would have a very special something at the end of today's live class. So here is our special opportunity. For everyone who has stayed to the end, this is our prize. So I've told you about our new course, Master English Grammar. Usually it's $120 US. Okay, but very special because we've just launched it. It's very new. We launched it 2 days ago, 48 hours ago. So it's very, very new. It doesn't even have any reviews yet. That's how new it is. So we're doing a very special deal where right now, the first 100 people who use this course, who use this code, can get that course entirely for free. Not just a discount, you get it for free. $0. So all you need to do is click on the link that I sent you before for Master English Grammar. And the code is going to be this, 5 mistakes. And if you enter that code, you should be able to get that course for free. So thank you very much for taking part. And this is like, I don't think every live class will give away something as big as this. But just for today, because it's very special, I feel very happy and very honored that everyone has taken part and has like made me feel very welcome in YouTube on my first ever YouTube live class. So this is my thank you to you guys. So all you need to do is go to that course, Master English Grammar, on Udemy and use the code 5 mistakes and you'll be able to get that course entirely for free. So there you go. And remember, you can also get a big discount on our other courses using the code November 2022. Oh my God, I've spoken so much that my voice is starting to give up. Excuse me, my throat is giving up. So guys, please do let me know if you have any trouble finding that. That is our... Amrit says the course code entered is not valid for this course. Doesn't seem... Oh no, it's not valid. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let me figure this out. Problems. Let me figure it out. So I created it today. Should be correct. Should be fine. Yeah, some people have already entered. 2 people have already entered. So it does seem to be working, but I'm going to share that free link here. So hopefully if you guys click through that, you'll be able to find it. Hopefully. And if you're watching this later, then if there's the 100 people still haven't claimed the course, then you could try to claim it. But of course, if they already have, then you've missed it this time. Bad luck. And hopefully you'll get a chance next time. Very good, very good. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Fad. Excellent. So guys, and the other thing, I do have one more favor to ask you, which is that as you can see, that course is very new and we don't have any reviews yet. So if you could help us by, if you find the course useful, if you like it, if you can give us a review and hopefully give us 5 stars. I would hope it would be 5 stars. If you don't like the course, don't review it. But if you do like the course, you can really help us by giving us some reviews, because that will help other people to know that it's good. And, you know, then we can continue doing live things like this. So, very good. So thank you very much. David has got the course. Very good, David. I'm glad you got it. Mai says, much appreciated. Well, much appreciated to you. Thanks a million. Yeah, very good. That's very good English. Mayak says, got it. Thanks. You're welcome. And Divya says, thank you for this live session. You're welcome. My pleasure. And Amrit says, 5 stars for you. 5 stars for you. 5 stars for all of you. 5 stars for everyone. And Cloud English, who is Luke, you guys can check out his courses as well. They're very, very good courses. He's one of the best, I would say one of the best 2 English teachers in Udemy. One of the top 2. Is he 1 or is he 2? I'm not sure. That's not for me to say. But you can also check out his courses. But he's right. It does help a lot to give 5 stars. You know, some people give... The thing that me and Luke don't like, I'll let you guys know about this. The thing me and Luke don't like is when somebody says like, this is a really, really good course. I really enjoyed it. It was so useful. 3 stars. It's like, no! Because, you know, if you're deciding on a course and the course is only 3 stars, you're going to say no, right? So, yes, if you guys can do that, then that would be great. Very good. Cloud English says, I deleted all my courses this morning. Yeah, good. Get out of here, you. Get. Yeah, Fad has found the problem. You have to write capital letters. Yes, that's exactly right. You should write capital letters. Thank you for that, Fad. That's very useful. And Assassin SD says, thank you so much. I bought 2 of your courses before. Oh, very good. Well, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Okay, and Parth says, thank you for this live session. I've enrolled in 3 of your courses. Oh, my God. I'm really interested in learning one-on-one with you, if that is possible. And you are... so what you can do, Parth, is you can send me an email. Let me write my email. I'm going to write it here. Oh, it's very cold in England. That's why I'm wearing my hoodie. I'm very close to the microphone now. I'll tell you a secret like this. Hey, I'm going to send my email now. You guys can send me an email if you want to find out about any classes or any services, or if you just want to chat, that's also fine. You can send me an email. Assassin says, you are one of my best teachers I've ever seen. Thank you so much for your great effort. Thank you, Assassin. I really appreciate it. That's very kind. You're too kind. You're making me shy. You're too kind. So, thank you very much. Right, guys, I think we better finish now because we've been going for more than 1 hour. Although Mehak says, oh, you're from England. Congrats on winning the World Cup. Yes, we did. We won the Cricket World Cup, the T20. And we hope, starting on Monday, to win another World Cup, the Football World Cup. So if you are watching, if anyone's watching from Iran, then I think up to Sunday, I'll be your friend. And after Tuesday, I'll be your friend again. But Monday, we will not be friends. Because Monday is England versus Iran in the World Cup. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right, guys, thank you so much. Please remember to, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe down here. And also, yes, thank you for your support. Make sure you claim your free grammar course if you haven't already. I hope you enjoy it. Remember to give us a review. And we will see you next time. Thank you very much. Mehak says, I just like watching cricket. That's fine. We'll just talk about cricket then. See you guys. See you later.